Blaze? Blaze is a hostile mob found in nether fortresses and is the only mob that can give you blaze rods. Blaze's attack is by floating up and shooting fireballs to the target, most of the time to you. They can detect you within the 48 blocks. If you try to attack them back, be ready, because as soon as you hit the blaze, it will alert all the blazes within 48 blocks to attack the attacker/you. Their fireballs are fired in groups of 3, with 0.9 seconds between each fireball and 3 seconds between each group. Blazes naturally spawn in groups of 2 or 3 at a light level of 11 or less. There is a specific place for blazes to spawn in the nether fortress. The blaze drops from 0 to 4 blaze rods. It depends on your looting enchantment. Bogged. Bogged is a hostile mob that was added just a few months ago in the 1.21 update. They are a skeleton variant covered in moss and mushrooms that spawns in swamps and mangrove swamps. They behave almost the same as normal skeletons, attacking by shooting tipped arrows of poison, and their attack is also a little bit slower. They can spawn underground and above ground, only the light level needs to be from 0 to 7. They can drop from 0 to 5 bones, 0 to 5 arrows, and 1 arrow of poison. Again, it depends on your looting enchantment. Breeze. Breeze is another hostile mob added in the 1.21 update. Breezes spawn in trial spawners found in trial chambers. They move via jumping large distances and will attack you by firing wind charges. They compress themselves like a spring and jump up to 15 blocks horizontally and 5 blocks vertically. And also, they can't die from fall damage, so don't expect gravity to help you out on this one. Breeze drops from 1 to 8 breeze rods. Creaking. Creaking is a hostile mob added already in 1.21.2, but officially announced at Minecraft Live 2024. It spawns by active creaking hearts at night. It doesn't attack like normal mobs, but rather will follow you until you look at it. When you do, it will stop and wait for you to look away. When you look away, it will start sprinting behind you and try to attack you from the back. It became alerted within 12 blocks of the player's field of vision. They can swim in water and lava, but if you look at them, they will be motionless and will sink to the bottom until you remove your vision from them. Also, they do not drop anything, no loot, and also no experience. Creeper. Creeper is a common hostile mob that is pretty sneaky and can sneak behind your back and give you a surprise attack. It was one of the pre-alpha mobs added in September 2009. The whole point of it's that it explodes. Will come to the player and start preparing for the explosion and then explode. They will start chasing the player within a 16-block radius. It can drop gunpowder, music disc, any of those. 13, cat, blocks, chirp, far, mall, mellow high, stall, strad, rad, 11, or wait. It drops once killed by either a skeleton, wither skeleton, stray, or bogged. Also a creeper head can be dropped, but it needs to be killed by a charged creeper. This brings us to a more rare version of a creeper. Charged creepers were added in the beta edition of Minecraft 1.4, and they can't spawn naturally. They spawn as normal creeper, but when there is thunder, the lightning can strike them and they become charged creeper. They are twice as powerful as the normal ones. The normal creeper's power is 3, and a charged creeper's power is 7. Elder Guardian. Elder Guardian is a stronger and larger variant of the Guardian, and it's also the largest aquatic mob. It attacks the same as a normal Guardian, and it can also apply a mining fatigue to you. They are only found in ocean monuments, and usually 3 of them spawn in each one. One spawns in the top room, and the other 2 spawn in each of the 2 winds of the monument. They have 2 drops. The primary one is Prismarine Shard dropping from 0 to 5, 1 wet sponge, 1 tide armor trim, and a random fish. The secondary loot is 0 to 4 raw cod and 0 to 4 prismarine crystals, or they can drop nothing. Their whole point is to protect the inside of the ocean monument. Endermite. Endermites are small hostile mobs, just like silverfish, that can spawn when the player throws an ender pearl. They will attack you, but they don't do too much damage. Also, they are hostile mobs to endermen, so that's why you need one when creating an enderman farm. Besides that, they are absolutely useless. They start attacking the player with 16 blocks and can drop 3 experience, and that's it. Evoker. Evokers are hostile mobs that can be found in woodland mansions and are a part of raids. They are the only way to get the Totems of Undying, of course, if you cut out cheating. Evokers also use 2 spells to attack, one that summons armor-piercing fangs, and the other one slash the annoying one, which spawns Vexes. And that's the only time Vexes can spawn naturally. Thank God for that, because they are really annoying. So, when killed, they drop 1 Totem of Undying, 0 to 4 emeralds, and also an ominous banner. Ghast. Ghast is a large, floating, ghost-looking hostile mob that can be naturally only found in the nether. They are the only source of ghast tears used for making potions. They drop it from 0 to 4 and also 0 to 5 gunpowder. They attack by shooting a fireball that can be returned to them, earning you an advancement. Also, in the upcoming summer drop, the Ghast will get a passive version of themselves, the Happy Ghast. And also it will be possible to ride them. I wonder how this will look. Guardian. Guardians are the normal versions of Elder Guardians, as we've talked about before. They are hostile aquatic mobs, but those spawn around the ocean monuments instead of inside. They will attack you with a slow-charging laser beam and inflict retaliatory damage. It also has 2 drops. The primary one is 0 to 5 Prismarine Shard and 1 random fish. The second loot is from 0 to 4 Raw Cod and from 0 to 4 Prismarine Crystals, or they can decide to just drop you nothing. Their role is to not let the player enter the monument, and they swim around it in the water, of course. Hoglin. Hoglin is a breedable hostile mob that can be found in the Nether. You will be able to find them in groups of 3 to 4 in the biome Crimson Forest, and also in certain types of Bastion remnants. They can spawn at any light level and on almost every solid block except Nether Wart blocks and Shroom lights. Fun fact, 20% of all Hoglins spawned are babies. Also, they can spawn in peaceful difficulty and will be passive to the player. When you kill them, they will drop you from 2 to 7 raw pork chop and 0 to 4 leather. They will attack you by running into you and ramming you, just like a goat. Husk. Just like zombies, they attack, of course, the player, iron golems, villagers, baby turtles, and wandering traders. They can detect you from up to 40 blocks away, which is much more than 16 blocks, like other mobs. They can drop from 0 to 5 rotten flesh, or if you are feeling lucky, you have a chance to get either 1 iron ingot, 1 carrot, or 1 potato. Husk is a variant of a zombie, but this one spawns in deserts. They have the same behavior as zombies, the only difference is that they do not burn in sunlight. And also, once they attack you, you will be inflicted with hunger. They spawn in the desert at light level 0 and mostly replace the normal zombies in this biome. They spawn in groups of 2 to 4 husks. Magma Cube. Magma Cube is another hostile mob found in the Nether. They behave similarly to a slime, but they are in the Nether. Also, they are fireproof, jump higher but less often, and they deal more damage. They can spawn in nether wastes, nether fortresses, basalt deltas, and monster spawners. When killed, they can drop 1 to 4 magma cream and a chance to get 1 pearlescent, verdant, or ochre froglight. Phantom. Phantoms are flying, undead, hostile mobs that spawn during the night when the player hasn't slept for 3 or more in-game days. They will attack the player by flying into them and biting them. The number of phantoms spawned can be from 1 to 4, depending on your difficulty. Also, when killed, they can drop from 0 to 4 phantom membrane, which are used for making the potion called slow falling and also for fixing elytra. This is logical, as the only way to get it is to kill the mob that actually flies. Piglin Brute. Piglin Brute is a hostile mob and a stronger variant of Piglin. It holds a golden axe and appears in all types of Bastion remnants. Only 1 or 2 Piglin Brutes can spawn in some rooms of Bastion remnants, and they also do not have a baby variant. They attack players, wither skeletons, and wither within 16 blocks, and unlike other mobs, they are not distracted by golden items. They deal a good amount of damage, from 7.5 all the way to 19.5 hearts per hit. When killed, it has an 8.5% chance of dropping a golden axe with a random durability. Pillager. Pillager is armed with a crossbow and can be found in pillager outposts or as a participant in village raids. Also can be found in patrols when looking for some troubles. They attack the player by firing arrows. When you kill them, they will drop from 0 to 5 arrows and also have a 100% chance to get an ominous banner. That will give you a bad omen effect, which you will start a raid if you are too close to a village. Ravager. Ravager is a large hostile mob that only spawns with one of the Illager in raids. It attacks you by running into you and dealing a lot of damage. From 7 to 18 hearts, without any armor, of course. They will start spawning at wave 3 in the raid. When killed, you have a chance to get 1 saddle from them and 20 experience points. Shulker. Shulker is a box-shaped hostile mob that you can find in end cities. It hides and blends with surroundings. It will attack you by shooting homing bullets that will affect you with levitation. The only way to get Shulker shells to create Shulker boxes is by killing them. You have a 50-70% chance to get 1 Shulker shell. They can teleport away if hit too many times, and you can only hit them well when their shield is open. Silverfish. Silverfish is another small hostile mob that can be found in Infest Stone, deep slate blocks, mountains, strongholds, igloo basements, and woodland mansions. They sneak up to the target, slash the player, and bite you. Silverfish have a 10% chance to spawn when the player has the infested effect and takes damage. When killed, they will drop 5 experience points and that's it. Nothing more special than being annoying. Skeleton. The skeleton is an undead, hostile mob that will attack you by using a bow. It was also one of the early mobs added to the game. There is a 1% chance for the skeleton to spawn with a skeleton riding them, calling it Spider Jockey. It also can spawn with a skeleton horse trap. When you kill them, you can get 0 to 5 bones, 0 to 5 arrows, or 1 skeleton skull if killed by a charged creeper. Slime. Slime is a bouncy, cube-shaped hostile mob that will spawn in swamp biomes. They attack the player by jumping on them. Depending on their size, they deal different damage. We have 3 sizes of slimes: big, which deals 8 hearts, medium, which does 4, and small, which does 1. Once killed, it can drop from 0 to 5 slime balls, which are used for making lead, slime block, sticky piston, and more useful stuff. Stray. Stray is a variant of a skeleton that spawns in a few snow-covered biomes, and those are snowy plains, ice spikes, and also in trial chambers. They attack the same as skeletons, only that they fire arrows of slowness. When you kill them, they will drop from 0 to 5 arrow and bone, and you have a 50% chance to get an arrow of slowness. Vex. Vex is another small, hostile, and super annoying mob that is equipped with an iron sword and does a lot of damage. The only way that is spawned is by evokers, which I've talked about earlier. They will fly around you when you are in a raid or woodland mansion and just annoy you. You probably won't be able to hit them because of their small body. I wish you the best of luck with killing them. Also, after you pour your soul to kill them, you get, guess what? Nothing. Vindicator. Vindicator is another illager mob that is equipped with an iron axe. As with all illager mobs, Vindicator appears in woodland mansions and also participates in raids. The problem with those ones is that these are really fast. They will sprint towards you with an iron axe. What could potentially be better than that? You can get absolutely nothing from him, or 4 emeralds if you are feeling lucky. Warden. Warden is a big, powerful, and of course, hostile mob. It spawns when Skulk Shriekers are triggered in the deep dark biome. It will attack the player by swinging its arms up and down or by its sonic boom. A Warden can and will give you 12 seconds of complete darkness to a player within 20 block radius, every 6 seconds. One more thing, it drops, guess what? Nothing. The only thing it can drop is Skulk Catalyst, so basically nothing, because you can get that anytime you want. Witch. Witches are hostile mobs that use potions in attacks. They use many different splash potions to either attack the enemy or to heal themselves. It can spawn in every biome as long as the light level is 0. A special place to find them is in swamp biomes that feature swamp huts, and they will spawn with a friend, aka a black cat. Wither Skeleton. Wither skeletons are tall black variants of skeletons. They are bigger than them, and those only naturally spawn in the nether, exclusively in nether fortresses. And they are the only source of wither skeleton skulls, as well as coal, but I doubt you will go to the nether fortresses looking for a wither skeleton to get some coal. The difference between the normal skeleton and this one is that the wither skeleton uses a stone sword for attack, and they also affect players with the wither effect. Zoglin. Zoglin is an undead hostile mob that is created when Hoglin is in the overworld, or the end for too long, approximately 15 seconds. It attacks the player the same as Hoglin, running and ramming straight into you. After all that, you will get 1 to 6 rotten flesh and 5 experience points. Zombie. Zombie, added in 0.2 update, is one of the most common undead hostile mobs that deal damage by their heads if unarmed and drop rotten flesh on death. We don't need to talk about it too much, it's just a zombie. Spawns at level light of 0, it has the ever more annoying variant, which is Baby Zombie. They can be armored with anything, helmet, chestplate, or leggings, with all types of it. Leather, gold, chain, iron, or diamond. You can also get the rare drop, which is to get either an iron ingot, carrot, or potato. Zombie Villager. The Zombie Villager is another variant of the zombie. A chance for a zombie villager to be created is by a normal villager being killed by a zombie. It can be in many different variants, just like villagers. Plains, desert, savanna, taiga, snowy, jungle, and swamp. It can also be cured back to a normal villager while using a golden apple and a potion of weakness.